Hi, welcome to this quick tip video on how to grab a YouTube video for Kaltura and turn it into an interactive quiz. We'll start in Blackboard where we access the My Media submenu item right after you log in. Clicking on the My Media album populates your wonderful My Media, which shows all of the videos you've ever recorded in Kaltura. What you'll want to do is go to your Add New button and choose YouTube. When you choose YouTube, it asks you to go ahead and find the URL and paste it in. So we will go to YouTube, and for our purposes, we'll use a pre-video, and I'll copy this URL, the web address, and I will come in and paste. Now, important, once you do that, you need to preview it. When you preview the video, it will load, and you'll see that little bar there. And the funny thing about this is that, and this is kind of like a special thing you'll note, is that it looks like Kaltura says that it's processing. It's really not processing. I've waited here for a good long time on a couple of different days. So what you'll need to do to get past this step is just hit on your pause button, this tiny one down here on the video. So I'll click it, and then I'll go ahead and hit the play button, because when you hit play, it opens up your other options, right? So I can now stop, I paused it, and down here, it gives you those options that you would get where you'd upload your own video or record one using Kaltura's software. So in this case, I'm going to call this the desert video. And this is what I'm doing. My first step is I'm taking that video and putting it inside Kaltura. So I will come in and right here access the description. And this video was recorded at the White Sands National Park. All right, so I could add, desert video dunes as tags, right? Now, I'll come down here and save the video just so that it gets saved inside my collection. And all we're doing, this step, all it does is it provides an embedded link inside your My Media to this YouTube video. It doesn't actually copy the video down at this point. So now when I'm done, it says your changes have been saved. Yay, it's done. So I can now go back to My Media. So if I go to My Media, you will notice that my desert video now shows up. Now, if I want to turn this video into a quiz, it's just the normal steps I would do before, right? I would click on Add New, choose Video Quiz. It will then give me the option of selecting that YouTube video that I've added to my media gallery. So I'm going to select that YouTube video. I'm then taken to the quiz editor. The quiz editor is essentially broken up into three parts, right? The left-hand side is where you'll actually start and do your settings, and you'll see that in a minute. The right-hand side is the video where you'll start and add questions, which you'll also see in a minute. And the bottom is the timeline. So because this is a YouTube video, it doesn't give you the preview picture on top of the timeline. However, it does show you the time that's elapsed and allows you to put in your questions. So I will start working on my quiz by clicking on the Start button. Now, when I come in, I can start working on the extraneous details of the quiz before it starts. So I look here, I give it, hey, look, it's the Desert Video Quiz. Sounds like a good name for it. And then it's a welcome message. In this video, you'll be given a quiz. Good luck. And I might say here, answer all questions to receive credit, right? Now, as I scroll down, it's got some options. Do I want to show the welcome page? Sure, I will, because I want them to know it's a quiz. It's a little different. Do I want them to download a question list? That's up to you. I'm going to choose, in my case, I'm going to choose no. I don't want them to download the question list, but you can choose to let them do so. Instructions here. The following text will be displayed. All questions must be answered. The quiz will be submitted at the end. It's just boilerplate. It lets the student know that they need to actually submit the quiz when it's done. Then under scores, do I want to show the students the scores? I can choose show scores. Do I want to include the answers? I can choose not to, and by just simply checking that, right, when they're done. And then lastly, under experience, I come in here, and so do I want them to allow them to change the answers? Do I want to allow them to skip? And I can say, you know what, I don't want to allow them to skip. That's not something I want them to do, but that's completely in your purview. So now I can come in and add questions. The quiz type essentially gives you 3 different question types, 2 of which are actual questions. One of them is kind of like a pause moment or a reflection point. So you'll notice the first option here is the multiple choice. So were I to go ahead and press play.
It's been 8 long days in the desert.
And so I might at this point insert a question. And I can go, okay, I'm going to insert a multiple choice. You know, how many days has Jacob been trapped in the desert? And the correct answer, of course, is 8 days. One might be 2 years. Adding an answer by clicking the plus sign down here, 4 days. You know, forever, right? Now, it's important to note that it automatically sets the correct answer as the top answer. However, I can drag that answer to wherever I want it in the order by simply putting my mouse on the answer, and you'll see these dots show up. I can then hold down my mouse and drag the answer to where I'd like it to go. And then I will hit save. And then when I'm ready, I hit play to keep going.
Nothing but the creatures of the dunes with me.
So I can now go in and add a true and false question. Right? I can click on it and go, the creatures of the dunes are with Jacob. The answer is true, or the answer is false. In this case, you notice the green check mark is true. So I'll hit save. Now I can decide, okay, you know, I'm going to go on to my next question.
Oh, God, why? Why?
Now, at this point, I could either put in what's called a reflection. If it's a longer video, I could use this reflection point option, right? And it simply just puts a place where I can come in and type in some text telling my students, think about this particular topic, blah, 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 before you move on to the next section of your video. In my case, though, I'm going to add another question. I'm going to call it a multiple choice question, right? I'm going to come in here and go, best video ever, or best video ever, right? Correct answer is best video ever. Is this a trick? And then I'll save. Now, when I've added all the questions that I need to add or reflection points that I need to add, I can just hit done. And now, when I go back to my media page, I have the desert video quiz that I've put into my course. The neat thing is I can then go to a course. So let's say I will go to, and I'll show you how this works real quick. It's just like you add your video quiz normally. If I wanted to go to a place where I wanted to add this video quiz, I could come in and, excuse me, I went to the wrong org, but I could go to a particular org or course and go to my place where I want to add it, build assessments, and add my Kaltura video quiz. Remembering, of course, that when you add the quiz, oh look, there's the desert video quiz, it's the one I want to add. I'll hit select. That by default, Blackboard will count this quiz, or Kaltura does, because of the way it works, for 100 points. I can go in and change that value later, or I can take that value out of my calculations depending upon whatever. So I can come in and say, video, I can give it a title, video quiz, and then provide watch this video and answer the questions therein. This is a graded activity. Click the Watch Video button to begin the interactive video quiz, right? And then I can come down here. It says, okay, do you want to show the grades as score? All the other options. Remember, should it be score to be 100? In this case, I could just leave it as complete, incomplete if I wanted to. But the score is 100. And I will come down here and hit submit. And now I have a video quiz that my students take. Now, so that you see what that looks like for my students, I will go ahead and enter my student preview mode. Go to modules and note the video quizzes here. I will click the watch media, or it's the watch media, not watch video. It will now load. I then go play the video. It tells me, hey, this is a quiz. Great job. So far, so good. I'll hit continue.
It's been 8 long days in the desert.
Hey, it stops, right, and it asks me how many days has Jacob been trapped in the desert. Well, it's been 8. And so I select the answer, and I hit select, and it will then go on to the next bit of the video.
Nothing but the creatures of the dunes with me.
Hey, the creatures of the dunes are with Jacob. Well, of course that's true. Hit select.
Oh, God, why? Why?
And then, best video ever, obviously. So now, it'll tell you, hey, you're done, so go ahead and submit the answers. And that is the student interface. I can then come back and exit the preview, go into my grade center and grade my own attempt. But that is how you add a YouTube video to Kaltura and then make it a quiz.